My name's Huon and this is Fatigue Factor, a channel all about the things that have been giving us fatigue, and we're starting off with the UFC. Why the UFC is getting shitty and how to fix it. I've been a massive fan of the UFC for the last 10 years, I just counted, ever since Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor won. I've watched it almost every weekend since then. I'm not a massive hardcore that knows the names of the prelim fighters or anything like that, but safe to say I'm a massive fan. And you can just tell it's not what it used to be. In fact, it's getting hard to even call it a sport at all. And what's the reason for this? Well, in the Olympic Games, you're never going to see an athlete get the chance to compete for a gold medal based off Instagram likes or popularity. In the NBA, you're never... moving on. It's getting impossible not to notice the weight of the difference between the title matches of old, such as Jones versus DC, Cruz versus Garbrandt, Hendricks versus GSP, and what we get now, which is Asakura versus Pantoja, O'Malley versus Huon 2, and most recently, this abomination. The quality in title matches has dropped drastically in recent years. So what's the difference? Well, it used to be a meritocracy. Number one fighting number one contender. The best, most deserving fighter would get the shot, and then if they weren't available, maybe the second or third guy down the ladder would get it. It was all pretty much based on skill. Now it's based on Instagram followers and regional popularity. And you might be saying, oh, Asakura doesn't have that many followers, but that's where the second part comes in. The organization's been handing out undeserved title shots based on A, online popularity, or B, if that fighter happens to be popular in a region that they're trying to appeal to for viewership. Hence Asakura's title shot and this man's second title shot. Now, I understand it's an entertainment business. Personally, I miss the Conor McGregor era where the press conferences were heated and crazy and, actually didn't make you want to fall asleep. But there's a key difference here. Firstly, Conor was actually deserving of the title shots he was getting. And secondly, people like Pimblett and O'Malley aren't even good on the mic. They're getting shots off having a goofy, silly looking image and a big online following, and that's exactly the reason myself and a lot of the core audience are becoming disenfranchised with the promotion. The real fans want to see Evloev, Murphy and Arman get their deserved title shots. The ones that don't are here today, gone tomorrow, and probably don't even watch many of the fights. Love and excitement from this sport doesn't come from Instagram or TikTok. It comes from the love of the purest form of competition. There must be an overhaul on the undeserved title matches before the title of a UFC champion barely means anything at all. I think a big part of the problem is that the UFC is such a large fish in a small pond. With no real competition being presented from ONE or PFL, they can kind of just do whatever they want. It makes sense. Keep the overheads low. It's kind of too big to fail. But who knows? Maybe if the boring press conferences and undeserved title matches keep going at this rate, then a new promotion will rise out from the slum and overtake the UFC, just like when UFC did the same to Pride FC and King of the Cage back in the day. But yeah, we just want to see fights like this, man. That's basically the point of the video. There's so many good matchups that the fans want to see that are just not happening, and people are just getting shots off Instagram. That's the point of the video. Watch it, hit the comments, let me know if you agree or disagree, what ways there could be to fix this, or if the UFC is just kind of cooked.